This is DD India and you're watching the Defense Dynamics. I'm Danveer Singh connecting to our viewers from New Delhi. Why is the Europe's most powerful nuclear-powered aircraft carrier coming to India? Why the Chinese have lost faith in Pakistan Army's ability to provide security to Chinese workers? And have the Chinese deployed their troops inside Pakistan to carry out the security job? We will analyze all this for you. Also, what are the landing platform docks and why are the electric propulsion systems the future of naval vessel technology? We'll discuss all that in next 30 minutes. Europe's most powerful warship, the French Navy's Charles de Gaulle, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, will be in the Indian waters. Simultaneously, Italian Defense Minister is also visiting India. This highlights the West's growing focus on Indo-Pacific. And all this is amid the rising concern over China's aggressive policies in the region. These are signs of West continuing to pivot to Indo-Pacific that began with the United States of America several years ago.
The Charles de Gaulle, a 42,500-ton nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, will be in India towards the middle of next month. This aircraft carrier, along with 3 other French warships, will be in Indian waters for 3 to 4 days. Charles de Gaulle is the only nuclear-powered carrier in the world apart from the American supercarriers and has been in India before as well. However, during this visit, when this French battle fleet is here, an exercise with Indian warships, including one of the Indian aircraft carriers alongside other frontline warships, is likely. Charles de Gaulle has on board the naval variant Rafale M. The Indian Air Force also operates Rafales, and the Indian Navy is likely to order the naval version of these Rafales, the Rafale Ms, in days ahead. Additionally, Indian Navy also operates the French-made Scorpion submarines.
The most powerful French nuclear-powered aircraft carrier is named after a French president, Charles de Gaulle. Charles de Gaulle was a French military officer and a statesman who led Free French forces against Nazi Germany during the World War II. He, after the war, chaired the Provisional Government of French Republic from 1944 to 1946 and restored democracy in France. He rewrote the Constitution of France and was elected President of France later that year, a position that he held until his resignation in year 1969.
The flagship of the French Navy, Charles de Gaulle, was commissioned in the year 2001. It is the 10th French aircraft carrier and the first French nuclear-powered surface vessel. Outside of the United States Navy, Charles de Gaulle is the only nuclear-powered carrier in the world. The ship carries a complement of the Dassault Rafale M and E-2C Hawkeye aircrafts and has different versions of Eurocopters and Aster missiles. She is a catapult-type carrier that uses 2 steam catapults of a shorter version of catapult system installed on US Nimitz-class aircraft carriers. Charles de Gaulle was the only non-American carrier vessel in the world that had a catapult launch system. The presence of Charles de Gaulle in Indian waters is a sign that despite the continuing Russia-Ukraine war that has lasted over 1,000 days with no end in sight, the concerns about the Indo-Pacific, particularly the increasing Chinese aggressive policies in the South and East China Seas, are there. The Americans are, of course, present in strength, as they have important allies in the region, particularly Japan, South Korea and Australia, and their concerns about Taiwan are also very high.
As people often say, confidence is more precious than gold. Well, these words we all have heard many times, but when these words come from the Minister of Central Committee of International Department of Communist Party of China, Louis Jianchao, when he was visiting Pakistan, it has a different connotation. It means that all may not be going so well amongst the friends who claim their friendship to be higher than the Himalayas and deeper than the oceans.
A high-ranking Chinese official in the end of June in the year 2024 at Islamabad called security the foremost challenge threatening the future of China-Pakistan economic corridor, and he stressed for an urgent need for boosting security protocols and more supportive business and media environment to ensure the continuation and success of this project. The Minister of the Central Committee of International Department of the Communist Party of China, Louis Jianchao, made these remarks at the third meeting of the Pakistan-China Joint Consultative Mechanism. Soon after, on August 26, a Chinese military delegation led by General Li Qiuming, the commander of People's Liberation Army's ground force, came visiting Pakistan. Optics apart, the matter was pretty serious. He came over to discuss the security situation in Pakistan, which was impacting the Chinese investments in CPEC very adversely. Stakes for China, as we all know, are very high. For China, this is a grand geo-economic plan that just cannot fail. The visiting Chinese general discussed this issue with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, and Army Chief General Asim Munir. Some say he had come with a proposal of bringing in Chinese troops to provide security to the Chinese workforce in Pakistan. While these meetings were going on, Pakistan's Balochistan province, where strategically important Gwadar port is located, experienced a devastating wave of terrorism. The Balochistan Liberation Army, which is fighting for the province's independence, conducted coordinated attacks on security personnel, highways, rail tracks and laborers hailing from other provinces. These attacks killed at least 73 people. While the BLA has been active since its formation in 2006, these specific attacks were the most severe in magnitude. And now, it is the most powerful general in China who came visiting Pakistan in the end of November of 2024. He was none other than Vice Chairman of Central Military Commission, General Zhang Youxia. General Zhang held one-on-one meeting with Army Chief General Asim Munir, followed by a delegation-level discussion. According to the statement, the engagement focused on matters of mutual interest, regional security dynamics, measures for regional stability, and enhancing bilateral defense cooperation. General Zhang spoke about Pakistan's ongoing counter-terrorism effort, which remains a key topic of discussion between the two countries, owing to the rising frequency of attacks targeting Chinese nationals working in Pakistan. Beijing is seeking a more proactive role in ensuring the safety of its citizens in Pakistan. However, the Pakistani Foreign Office has emphasized that counter-terrorism cooperation between the two countries is based on mutual respect for each other's sovereignty. The big question being asked is if the matter was of mutual respect for sovereignty or high Chinese stakes in the failing CPEC. The China-Pakistan economic corridor is strategically very important to China for several economic, geopolitical, and strategic reasons. It is envisaged that this will provide China a strategic connectivity into the Indian Ocean via Pakistan's Gwadar port, thus reducing reliance on Malacca Strait, through which significant portion of Chinese energy imports and trade passes. It is a choke point vulnerable to blockades or geopolitical tensions.
Gwadar offers an alternative route bypassing Strait of Malacca, a maritime bottleneck or a strategic choke point. For China, Gwadar will help expanding its influence in the Indian Ocean region and facilitate transportation of oil and gas from the Middle East to Western China through overland pipelines.
With CPEC in place, Chinese geopolitical influence in South Asia will enhance manifold, challenging the American hegemony in the region and also counterbalancing India's influence in the Indian Ocean, which is presently the most dominating power in the region. In wake of the rising number of terror attacks on Chinese nationals in Pakistan, China's geopolitical dream is at a verge of a failure, something that China can ill afford. Before it is all lost, the Chinese have now signed a private security and military contract for the protection of its engineers and workers involved in various China-Pakistan economic corridor projects in Pakistan. China has assigned 3 of its private companies, namely Deve Security Frontier Service Group, China Overseas Security Group, and Huzheng Zhongshan Security Service, for a joint security arrangement for safeguarding Chinese nationals in Pakistan. In other words, these are going to be the Chinese military personnel under cover of a private security company. In addition, more than 300 Chinese troops have recently arrived in Pakistan to take part in joint China-Pakistan anti-terrorism exercise, the Warrior 8. This comes amid escalating militant attacks in the country on Chinese citizens. Such military collaborations are likely to go up both in scale and frequency in days ahead. In a nutshell, Pakistan Army has failed to provide security to 30,000 Chinese workers in Pakistan. The responsibility has now been taken over by the Chinese soldiers as private security guards. The reason is the trust deficit that was referred to by the Minister of Central Committee of International Department of Communist Party of China, Louis Zhenchao, while he was in Pakistan in the month of June of 2024.
In the neighboring Pakistan, China is rapidly helping its ally build a 50-ship navy. This expenditure by Pakistan is despite their economic struggle. Indian Navy Chief raised these concerns recently, highlighting India's plan for 175 warships by year 2035. The Indian Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi stated that India is aware of Pakistan Navy's unexpected expansion and several of its warships are being constructed with Chinese help. According to Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, China's backing shows that China plans to improve Pakistan's naval capabilities. Admiral Tripathi emphasized that in order to adequately handle any possible challenges from nearby nations, the Indian Navy is modifying its tactics and strategy to deal with it. Indian Navy plans to construct large ships like the landing platform docks and a third aircraft carrier. Recently, India and the United Kingdom signed a statement of intent for cooperation on design and development of electric propulsion systems for the Indian Navy. So the question that would come straight are, what are the landing platform docks and why do we need to go in for electric propulsion systems?
Indian Navy already operates US origin landing platform dock of Austin class named the INS Jalashwa. A landing dock ship is a naval variant that supports amphibious operations by transporting and launching amphibious vehicles and crafts into hostile shores. Known as the LSDs, they have a well deck that can be flooded like a miniature dry dock. This allows the ship to carry tank-laden landing craft over long distances and then launch them off the landing beach. The modern LSDs also operate helicopters. INS Jalashwa features a well deck which can house up to 4 LCM-8 mechanized landing crafts that can be launched by flooding the well deck and lowering the hinged gate aft of the ship. She also has a flight deck for helicopter operations from which up to 6 medium helicopters can operate simultaneously. The deck can also be used to operate vertical takeoff landing aircrafts like the Sea Harriers in special circumstances. She is also capable of embarking over 1,000 troops and is fully equipped with extensive medical facilities including 4 operation theatres, a 12-bed ward, a laboratory and a dental center.
Now the Indian Navy is gearing up to bolster its amphibious capabilities with a large fleet of landing platform docks built indigenously. The 2 Indian shipyards, Cochin Shipyard Limited and Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, have thrown their hats in the ring with their own designs. Additionally, L&T Shipbuilding and Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited have proposed designs based on collaborations with international original equipment manufacturers.
The landing platform docks envisioned by the Indian Navy will boast an impressive capacity. Each vessel is expected to accommodate a crew of 540 sailors and carry up to 900 troops. These behemoths will measure approximately 200 meters in length and displace up to 8 meters of water when fully loaded. In terms of speed, a cruising speed of 14 to 16 knot is desired, with remarkable range of 10,000 nautical miles at economical speed for extended deployments. A significant feature demanded is the emphasis on electric propulsion. The Indian Navy is looking for an integrated full electric propulsion or hybrid propulsion system reflecting the Navy's commitment to modern and efficient technologies. Marine propulsion systems such as gas turbines or diesel generators or both to generate 3-phase electricity, which is then used to power electric motors turning either propellers or water jet impellers. It is a modification of the combined diesel electric and gas propulsion system for ships, which eliminates the need for clutches and reduces or eliminates the need for gearboxes by using electrical transmission rather than mechanical transmission of energy. So it is a series of hybrid electric propulsion instead of a parallel system. Some newer nuclear-powered warships also use this form of electrical propulsion system. A nuclear power plant produces steam to operate turbine generators. These in turn power electric propulsion motors. Eliminating the mechanical connection between engine and the propulsion has several advantages, including increased freedom of placement of the engines. Reducing acoustic signature is particularly important to naval vessels seeking to avoid detection. The landing platform docks won't shy away from a fight as well. The Indian Navy is seeking them to be equipped with a robust armament suite, including 32 vertical launch short-range surface-to-air missiles for air defense and 16 anti-ship missiles for offensive capabilities. Additionally, request for information calls for a close-in weapon system with electro-optical fiber control, heavy machine guns with stabilized mounts, and directed energy weapons and medium machine guns. The landing platform docks will be outfitted with a comprehensive sensor suite to ensure superior situational awareness. This includes a combined air and surface surveillance radar, a 3D air surveillance radar, a surface surveillance radar, electronic warfare support systems, and an electro-optical search and track system. The design calls for a thorough deck configuration, essentially making them landing helicopter docks rather than the standard landing platform docks. This configuration will allow for flight operations directly from the hangar to the landing deck. This envisioned air complement is impressive. At least 2 heavy lift helicopters, 12 special operation helicopters, and 2 naval support unmanned aerial systems can operate from the decks.
With this, we come to the end of this episode, but before I go, here is my take. India and China are engaged in a growing geopolitical competition in the Indian Ocean region, which is driven by their strategic priorities, economic ambitions, and security concerns. This rivalry has significant implications for regional stability and global power dynamics. The Indian Navy's role over the next 30 years will focus on securing India's maritime interests and ensuring regional stability in the Indo-Pacific. As a key player in blue water operations, it will enhance its strategic reach, leveraging advanced technologies, indigenous warships and submarines. Strengthening alliances through multilateral naval exercises, countering piracy and safeguarding sea lanes of communication will be of paramount importance. The Indian Navy will also address emerging threats like cyber warfare and unmanned systems while promoting maritime diplomacy and disaster relief. With a vision of self-reliance, the Indian Navy will bolster India's global stature, ensuring peace and prosperity in a dynamic geopolitical landscape. See you next week with new stories and their analysis. Thanks for watching, and do post your comments on social media with hashtag DD with Danveer. Goodbye and take care.
When the storm rages, when the skies darken, we never falter, we never retreat. In the skies, beneath the waves, and on the high seas, we move as one. Beyond the horizon, we stand guard. In every wave, we rise. Always ready, always prepared. Our mission, unwavering. Our goal to defend, to protect, to strike. The brave who confront the unknown to secure our future. The Indian Navy, the shield of our nation, the spear of our defense, the calm in the eye of the storm. Indian Navy, waves of power.